Hi! Welcome to Wheels Up! My name is Sierra, and I'm so excited to take you on a super fun journey brought to you by the Sunrise Association, the Sunrise Studios, and our friends at American Airlines. While we're on our adventure, see if you can spot Wings, our special airplane friend who will show up in 3 different places. After our adventure, join us for crafts in our Sunrise VX Treehouse. And last, but certainly not least, we'll do a fun game of trivia with me, all about our adventure. Are you ready? Let's go! Fasten your seatbelts. Here to kick us off is a special representative from our friends at American Airlines.
Welcome, passengers. I'm American Airlines Captain Vincent De Silva. Welcome aboard our very special flight today from the Sunrise Association and American Airlines to Seattle. This is where we'll begin our exploration of the wonderful Washington state. So buckle up, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
Hello, adventurers! Today we're heading to a beautiful state in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. Buckle your seatbelts and prepare for landing as our American Airlines flight touches down in Seattle, Washington. Welcome to wonderful Washington State! Located along the Pacific Ocean between Canada and Oregon, this state is known for its sparkling waters filled with wildlife, snow-covered mountains, and fir and pine trees that stay green all year long. Wow, look at those trees! No wonder Washington has earned the nickname the Evergreen State. If you love hiking, boating, skiing, city sightseeing, and amazing animals, well, you're in luck. Washington has it all. We are starting our adventure today in the city of Seattle, also known as the dog capital of the world. Fun fact number 1, there are about 247 dogs for every 1,000 people. There are even more dogs here than children. Check out all this puppy love. I love that! But there are plenty of kids, including our friend Grace, who's 10. She has a special message for us about growing up in the Emerald City.
Hi, I'm Grace, and I live in Seattle, and I'm going to tell you about some of my favorite things and places to go and do. So, one of the places that are super fun is the Ballard Locks. It's sort of like an elevator for boats. So, it goes from the salt water of the Puget Sound into the freshwater of Lake Union. It's super cool. And there's also a salmon ladder, so the salmon can get through from the freshwater to the saltwater to go spawn again, which also means that they're just laying their eggs. And it's really cool, and there's an epic view there. Another thing that I like to do here is bike riding. It's so fun. So you can just bike ride or walk pretty much anywhere you want. So you could go meet up with a friend halfway in between each other's houses, or at a corner shop, or at an ice cream shop, which, by the way, the ice cream here is epic. It's really, really good. And in the summer, I like to go water skiing, or just do water sports in general, like paddleboarding and stuff. It's so fun because we're right next to the Puget Sound, so the water's just right there whenever you need it. It's really cool. And then there's mountains, you can drive up to the mountains and go skiing and play in the snow, and that is actually so fun. As long as you have your snow gear though, because otherwise you're gonna freeze. So that's a few things that I really love to do here.
Thanks, Grace. Up next, we're headed to Pike Place Market. Say hello to Rachel and Billy. These pigs are actually piggy banks. They are the market mascots and are saving up for a really good cause. The money that visitors put in them is used to help people in need in the community. Pike Place Market is a perfect place to pick up a souvenir. Here you can find unique jewelry, beautiful art, and delicious desserts. If you're a sports fan, keep your eye out for jerseys and hats to wear while you root for the Seahawks, Mariners, and Kraken. Save a little money for the market's Daily Dozen Donut, where you can see mini donuts made right in front of you. Even better, you can choose your own toppings. My favorite is cinnamon sugar. Total yum! Did you know the world's very first Starbucks opened right here in Pike Place in 1971? About 50 years later, there are now more than 34,000 Starbucks around the world, but their headquarters remain right here in Seattle. You can get Starbucks pretty much anywhere, but it's not everywhere you can see flying fish. That's right, the fishmongers who sell fish at Pike Place Fish Market attract crowds who gather to watch them hurling salmon, trout, and halibut at each other. Throwing food apparently is allowed when it's entertaining and good for business. Would you want to try catching one of these giant fish? That is so much fun! Washington is famous for fish, and not just the ones being tossed around at the market. The state is most famous for its salmon. People actually travel to Washington just for a chance to watch salmon spawn or lay their eggs. That might not sound very exciting, but fun fact number 2, every year, thousands upon thousands of salmon that live in the Pacific Ocean swim hundreds of miles upstream to return to where they were born to spawn. Watching the salmon run, as it's called, can actually be very exciting. Wow, look at them go! Okay, back to Pike Place. We have one more rather sticky sight to see. Welcome to the gum wall, an ooey, gooey, colorful wall of gum. Visitors have been putting gum on this colorful wall since the 1990s. If you're chewing gum when you visit, you can even add to the creation. It's gross, but really fun at the same time. Seattle's most famous landmark is the Space Needle, a 605-foot tall tower that was built for the 1962 World's Fair. A World's Fair is a huge international event where countries have exhibits and reveal new creations. A 41-second elevator ride takes visitors up to the observation deck, where there are spectacular views of the city, Puget Sound, and some pretty monstrous mountains. Let's take a look at these Washington wonders up close. Washington's natural beauty is everywhere, from the snow-capped peaks to the wildflower-covered meadows of the Olympic Mountains, which are in the northwest corner of the state, in Olympic National Park. Its Hoh rainforest is one of the world's only temperate rainforests. Temperate rainforests have much cooler climates than tropical rainforests. The fog created from the moist ocean air keeps things really wet. Washington's spruce, fir, and hemlock trees love it. Bring your binoculars for wildlife viewing. Oh, hello there, black bear. Fun fact number 3, despite their name, black bears aren't always black. Their coats can also be blue-gray, brown, and even white. You can also take a hike along the coast to see some adorable sea otters and majestic humpback whales swimming in the Pacific Ocean. Or travel up high in the mountains to spot the adorable Olympic marmot. Ah, how cute! Another incredible sight and view is Mount Rainier, which is an active volcano in Mount Rainier National Park. Fun fact number 4, if you ask about the weather in Seattle on a sunny day, you might be told that the mountain is out. This is a local phrase that means the weather is clear enough to see Mount Rainier from the city. The park is home to more than 280 species of wildlife, including this beautiful Steller's jay songbird. Check out the Paradise Snow Play area for sledding and tubing. Whee! Mount Rainier is one of the snowiest places on Earth. In fact, you can ski here all the way into early summer. Mount Rainier is in the middle of the Cascade Range, which is a stretch of volcanic and non-volcanic mountains extending from Canada to North California. Wow, we saw a lot from the Space Needle. Want to see something that will really blow you away? Let's check out the incredible work of Washington glass artist Dale Chihuly at the Chihuly Garden and Glass Museum. Glass artists use a tube or pipe to first inflate hot, liquidy glass into a bubble. They turn the pipe and use tools to shape the glass. Artists add color and have different techniques for making patterns. It's a long process, but so cool to watch. That's amazing! The Sea Life Room is one of my favorite exhibits at the Chihuly Museum. How many glass sea creatures can you find? Outside, let's check out the glass house and garden. I love seeing Chihuly's creations mixed in with actual plants and flowers. This cool guitar display is at the Museum of Pop Culture, where you can learn all about the amazing Seattle music scene. In the mid-1980s, a rock and fashion style called grunge became popular thanks to Seattle bands like Nirvana and Pearl Jam, a few of my favorites. The way that the musicians dressed, with flannel shirts, long underwear, jeans, and combat boots, is still popular today. Time to catch our next flight. But wait, I've never seen a plane like that before. We are on our way to the San Juan Islands, and the coolest way to get there is by seaplane. These amazing planes actually take off and land on the water. Keep your eyes peeled below for orcas. These beautiful ocean animals travel and live in groups called pods. Fun fact number 5, orcas are often known as killer whales, but they aren't whales at all. They're actually dolphins. I had no idea. On the San Juan Islands, you could also meet a friendly alpaca, run through a beautiful lavender farm, become a junior ranger at the national park, or, if you're feeling really brave, take off on a zip-lining adventure. Woo! There's so much more to explore in Washington. I wish we could stay longer, but it's time to board our American Airlines flight and head home for crafts in the Sunrise VX Treehouse. See you there! Wow, that was such an incredible adventure! Did you have a chance to see wings? Here are the 3 different times where we spot wings. Great job! Well, come on, we have another adventure where we're gonna go crafting in our Sunrise VX Treehouse. Let's go!
Hi, my name is Caroline, and I'm so excited to do arts and crafts with you today. Today's video was all about Washington State. So the first craft we are going to do is inspired by the artist Chihuly, and the second craft is a rocking orca craft. I hope you have fun.
Project 1, Chihuly glass. Supplies needed: coffee filter, small round container or bowl, paintbrush or sponge brush, rubber band, washable markers, liquid glue mixed with water. Project 2, rocking orca. Supplies needed: white paper plate, 1 tissue or white tissue paper, googly eye, scissors, black paint, crayon or marker, and glue.
The first craft we are going to make is inspired by the artist Chihuly, who is from Washington State. He makes glass sculptures that are really cool. So today we're gonna make one that looks like that out of a coffee filter. So that's all you need, and then something you can put it over like this to mold it. So I'm using this container. And then you also need some water and some liquid glue. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some markers and I'm going to color the coffee filter. And I'm going to use a lot of different colors because in Chihuly's art, he uses a lot of different colors to make his sculptures. So I want it to look like that. So next I'm using blue, and then I'm going to do purple, and you could use whatever colors you want. And when it's all finished, it's gonna look almost like tie-dye. So that's why I wanna use a lot of different colors, because they're gonna blend together and it's gonna look really cool. Okay, so now that the whole thing is colored in, I'm going to mix my glue with some water in here. I'm gonna pour some liquid glue in. Okay, so now I'm gonna mix this together, and the reason I'm using water is to help the colors blend together, and then the glue will make it stiff so that it can stay into like a flower shape. So now I'm just gonna put this all over the coffee filter, and now the colors are gonna kind of blend together so that it looks really pretty.
you want to do this over the whole thing. And now I'm going to put it over the container like this and kind of push it down. And if you want it to be more like a flower shape, you can kind of like make creases like this so that it will stay. And if you want, you can put some glue to make sure it really stays. So I'm going to put some glue there and then place it down like this. And if your coffee filter is kind of sliding off, you can use a rubber band and put it over so that it stays. And now you can leave this to dry, and it'll take about half an hour to dry. And now I have one that I made earlier to show you what it looks like when it's finished. So it looks like a Chihuly glass flower. The second craft we are going to do is an orca craft, and we're gonna make a rocking orca. So here I have a paper plate, and I folded it in half so that it can rock once we cut it out. And then I also have a tissue and some markers. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw out my orca. So first I'm going to draw a line like this down my paper plate. And you could do this in pencil, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it. I'm doing it in black marker so you can see it better. Then you're gonna leave a space and make sure that the folded side of your plate is facing up like this. So then I'm gonna go down this way, and then I'm gonna draw the tail. So I'm gonna go up like this, and then leave a space, and then make a V shape like that, and then leave another space, and then go down towards the bottom, like this. And now I'm gonna cut this out. And you can see orcas in the San Juan Islands in Washington State, which is really cool, but they're found all over the world too. Okay, so now I have my orca shape cut out. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna draw a few shapes that I'm gonna leave white, and I'm gonna draw the rest black. So on the bottom, I'm gonna draw a shape like this. And then I'm gonna draw a circle right here. And so I'm gonna leave the insides of these parts white, and I'm gonna color the rest of it black. And I'm gonna use a paint stick, but you can also use a marker, or you can paint it, or you can use crayons, whatever you want. Okay. And a lot of the time, orcas are called killer whales, but they're actually dolphins. So they're not really whales at all, but they're called killer whales. Okay, so now that I have it all colored in, I'm going to put on a googly eye. And if you don't have this, that's okay. You can also draw on your eye or paint it. But I'm gonna use a googly eye, so I'm gonna put it right here. Like this. And then I'm gonna cut out a little mouth. So right under the eye, I'm just gonna cut a little triangle shape. Like this. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my tissue and I'm gonna glue it to the top of the whale's head. So I folded the tissue in half like this, and now I'm gonna fold it back and forth. So I'm gonna fold it a little bit like this, and then flip it and like that, and continue doing that. And then I'm going to kind of twist the bottom like this, and I'm gonna tape it
So I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to use some tape, but you can also just glue it on. Like this. And then I'm going to cut the tissue that looks like the water from the spout. So you can make some cuts all across it. Just like this. So this is my finished orca. And now you can open it up and you can rock it. And now you have a rocking orca. So now my Chihuly flower dried, so this is what it looks like when it's all finished. And here's my orca craft. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Wow! We had such a blast crafting with you today. Well, get ready, because we're coming in for our final destination, an exciting trivia game, where you'll get to have more fun with trivia questions about our adventure today. I'm gonna ask you 10 questions. Each question has 4 answers, but only one answer is correct. Can you figure it out? Well, come on, let's play! Welcome to Wheels Up Trivia with Wheels Up with Sunrise on Wheels. Question 1. Washington is located along which ocean? A, the Pacific Ocean. B, the Atlantic Ocean. C, the Indian Ocean. Or D, the Arctic Ocean? The Pacific Ocean is correct, right along the west coast. Question 2. Washington is called the Evergreen State because of its A, love for Kermit the Frog. B, trees that stay green all year round. C, long spring season. Or D, many football fields. As much as we love Kermit the Frog, their trees stay green all year round. Question 3. Fill in the blank. Seattle has more blank than children. A, pigs. B, presidents. C, dogs. Or D, volcanoes. Fill in the blank. Dogs! Can you believe that? Question 4. What is one thing that you would most likely not find at the Pike Place Market? A, fish. B, donuts. C, Empire State Building keychains. Or D, Seahawks clothing. The Empire State Building is actually on the East Coast in New York City. Question 5. All of the following are reasons people might visit Washington State except to A, watch salmon lay their eggs. B, drink good coffee. C, do outdoor activities. Or D, see the home of America's first president. So many fun things to do in Washington State. Question 6. Salmon Run is the name for A, a new Disney movie. B, Washington State Tree. C, large groups of salmon swimming upstream to lay their eggs. Or D, a popular Nike basketball sneaker. Though, let's be honest, Salmon Run would make a great Disney movie title. Question 7. Visitors have been adding gum to Seattle's gum wall since A, their parents told them not to. B, the 1990s. C. Grunge music and dress became popular. Or D. The Seahawks won their first Super Bowl. The 1990s. Such a great time. Question 8. Where would you be most likely to spot the Olympic marmot? A. Mount Rainier National Park. B. Olympic National Park. C. Museum of Pop Culture. Or D. The Summer Olympic Games. I love national parks, and doesn't it make sense having Olympic in the name? Question 9. What is the name of Washington's most famous tower? A. Starbucks. B. Chihuly. C. Gateway Arch. Or D. Space Needle. Love it! And our final question, number 10. Which animal is a type of dolphin? A. A humpback whale. B. The Pike Place Market mascot. C. Orca. Or D. Sea otter. Can you believe that an orca is a type of dolphin? Well, thank you so much for playing trivia with me today. We'll see you next time. Wow, you did such an awesome job with trivia today. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Wheels Up. Did you know that there are more adventures of Wheels Up available for you? Oh yeah! Just head to our YouTube channel, or you can download our Sunrise Studios app, which is available on iOS or Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. And thank you so much to the Sunrise Studios, Sunrise Association, and the wonderful American Airlines. We'll see you next time!